All right, so drawing letters, Cinema 4D. All right, let's go. So here's my viewport, middle mouse button click, going into the front view. Now to bring in our image, so we can draw freehand, and we're gonna probably do that for one of the letters, but for one of them, I'm gonna draw from a photo. So I'm gonna go to File, Configure, and then you have this menu right here, and the one you wanna go to is Back. Then I click on the three dots, and then I go to my file, which happens to be this. I don't see anything. Okay. So my picture's supposed to show I'm in the back. Why is this not working? Configure. This one says back. All right, so if I did that here, that worked. For the top, for the front, I feel like my viewport is stuck or something. No. Get rid of this. Let me try it again. So go to this. Not sure why. I don't see my photo. Let me choose another photo just to see. Huh. It's working in this viewport, but it won't work in this viewport. Control C. I'll go in the front, view, configure, Control V, enter. That's really odd. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have to draw it in this right viewport. I don't know how this is gonna look, but let's see. So I like to go to transparency and turn it down a little bit just so I can see everything a bit better. Now I'm going to go get this pen right here, Spline Pin, and we're going to draw this letter. So I'm just going to click right here, right here. And then when I get into this area right here, I'm going to click one time, then I'm going to click again and kind of drag just to get like a little bit of a curve. Then I'm going to click right here. So I'm going to try to make it even length to this one. Click right here and then continue. So I'll do the same thing when I get to these corner areas. Click once, click in the corner, drag a little bit, and then try to make an even. So the length from this to this, I'm trying to do the same thing over here. Click it right there. There we go. So here, click and drag a little bit here. Here. And see this area I can't really see, but it's fine. And then we get to these rounded areas like this. These letters are kind of cracked intentionally, so I'm eyeballing part of it. And then we'll go over here. So it's starting to curve. So I'm just clicking and dragging. We see the handle. You don't want to go too crazy with the handle because you want to have a nice, smooth edge flow. So clicking and dragging. And now if I'm dragging along the edge, along the length of the edge, I kind of get like a nice bend. Instead of going like that, then we get the abrupt turns. So moving like this, click and drag. Everything's looking good. And you know what? Look at what I'll do right here. Because I messed that up, kind of looks kind of cool. But as you can see, I meant to kind of bring it up a little bit higher. Even though I could get away with that and it would still look cool, let's show you how to fix it afterwards. Well, there's two ways to fix it, right? We can click right here onto our pen tool. So this is the only way it works. Don't try to go to this and click on points. You just have to click on this tool. And this messed me up for a long time just because I didn't realize you had to click on this tool for it to work. So if I click on this tool and I click on a point, I can then just take that point and drag it, right? So I could do that to all of them, but I want to move them all up at once because I kind of like what I've done. So in this case, you would, and this is the only time I suggest taking this, is going to rectangle selection, and I'll select all these points right here. I'll hold down Control to deselect this one. So I just have these selected, and then I'll just move up this whole group at one time. And then I'll also maybe move it to the side. And then I can press Control and deselect these, and then just take this group right here, bring these down, deselect these, bring these down. So it depends on what you're doing and how much of a perfectionist you are. When it comes to letters, I try to do everything perfect. Okay, I like that. I should have done that middle piece. I think we can go back and make that. So as long as this is selected and I select the tool, just go back and click on this now, come this and drag, come this down, drag a little bit. So if you get that little bit of drag, you can get a little bit of roundness in there. Just clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. So this one's a little bit more exaggerated. Clicking and dragging, click and drag. Cool. And then on something like this as well, like if I was to right click and go to soft tangents, it softens it up, which might be what you want. But in a situation like this, what I'll do is I'll just add a point, and I'll add a point right there, and I'll right click on this and I'll add a point right there. Then I'll go back to this and I'll do soft tangent, and we have this. And I might just kind of go in and mess with this a little bit. Maybe the same thing with this, do a soft tangent, just to soften it up a bit. Let's see what happens if we make this one soft. Okay, it's not that bad. That was already soft, but just go in kind of a little rounder. Kind of like that, don't like this. Oh, so let's delete this point, see what happens. All right, and we'll just control it with this one. Okay, cool. So we already have our D right there. Middle mouse button click. You see what it's looking like. I like it. I'm pressing 9 to quit. Cool. All right. Now, if we're going to extrude this letter, all we do is we go right here to subdivision. I mean, not subdivision. Yeah, actually, yeah, click right here, go to extrude, and then we just drag our spline inside of the extrude. And there we go. All right. Now the extrude options work just like the other ones do on other polygons. So if I type in NB, we can see the wireframe. And let's look at our extrude options. So right now it says direction automatic. So it's like looking at it, because remember, we're usually draw these things in the front view, but for whatever reason, so the front view is this way. I don't know why I did that, which is usually in Z. So you have subdivision, which is adding the amount of divisions to the what I call the 3D. Then we have offset. I already know that's Lay's mic. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really messed with these. Oh, no problem, man. No problem at all. All right. Then we have the start cap and end cap. I think y'all know what that is, just the front face. And that could be something interesting, but yeah, for this, nah. Then we have our bevel shape. So if I increase my bevel, you can see what's going on. Now, when you look at stuff like this, you have to be careful of this right here when they start to go in on each other. You might be able to get away with it sometimes, but usually when like lines and points intersect, it's not good and it doesn't look too nice. But at that angle looks okay. But then we could also play around with it and go to curve and change the type of bevel that has solid. Then we have our step. And step works like, with the segments. So the least amount of segments you have, better it works. Well, now I'm going to have to say the better it works, but get a different style. So this could be what you want, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. Bevel outside. Not messing with that too much. Quadrangles. All this is basically saying is, do you want this to be an N-gon, which is one big face with a bunch of points on it? Or do you want it to be triangles? So it chops it up, it looks at all the points and tries to like connect it. Which, depending on how it looks in the render, could look better. Just depends. And this right here is kind of just trying to adapt to the mesh. So this is gonna look good. And these will work well with dynamics because they're sealed off and it's not like an N-gon. And we have our regular grid. Yeah, so basically it's just looking at all the points and it's trying to do its best to chop it into a triangle or make it into a quad. So we'll just keep with N-gon for this. And I'm kind of liking what we have so far. All right, and if we want to give it some extra pizzazz, we could do something like take this, duplicate it, and then press T to scale it up. And actually there's something else. I think if you press Shift C and then you type in, I think it's align. this the one? I don't want to go into looking at it, but there's a way to like center the pivot. But instead, we'll just do it like this. We'll just go here. And since this is our pivot, we'll press E, and then we'll press L, and then we'll take this and just kind of like place it right here and let go of the letter L. So our pivot's now in the center. Then we'll press T, and then we could like scale it like that up a little bit and then push it back. So now press T. Try this one more time. So I could go here and kind of we could double up on it in certain areas. I think it looks better with other letters, what I was trying to do. I was basically just trying to make a like kind of like a duplicate of the letter and give it some extra like depth. But something else we can do is we can hide this letter and we can go to this one because let me turn off my viewport. So I go to configure and then I'll go to show picture and I can just go all the way down like this, or I can just click off of this to take it away. But the cool thing about this whole thing is we can go here and go to our spline. Well, let's disable this. And then we can actually go back and manipulate these pieces. So we can manipulate them here with this tool and the points, or we can go back into our pen tool and take a point and move it or give it some kind of, operate on them, delete them, move them out, move them in. So we can do all that. So if I went here and clicked on this, so this is our extruded letter. And then here's my duplicate right here with the spline. I can go in here and just to be quick about it, I'll get my rectangle tool. I could just go in, kind of take these and move it around, give it like a shape that's kind of wrapping this. So I'll just pull this like right here. And I could even take this whole thing, kind of scale it down. But yeah, all I was trying to do really is manipulate this so that we have like extra little letter in the background. Could be cool, could not be cool. Just saying it's something you could do. So all right, let's draw out the rest of our letters. So we have our D right there. Remember, for whatever reason, my front viewport isn't working. So I'm gonna freehand letter, right? But usually you should do this with a sketch if you can. So I'll just go ahead and take this, but I'm nice with letters, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna take that pen tool right there. So just like our photo, but just with the sketch. So I'm taking this. Let's go and press 9. Ooh. Oh, I can't continue like that. What I was going to try to do is go in here. Oh, okay, I can do that. So what I did, right, what I wanted to do is continue, we'll stop drawing from this point. So I pressed 9 to quit, and then I selected this point, and then I selected my pen tool. So now I get to start from here. Perfect. All right, so let's do this. Actually, I'll keep these all kind of hard. So I have that. All right, so I have my R right there. As always, I'm gonna go ahead and modify this to my liking. Like I said, I'm just freestyling because I know how to do this, but you'll probably want to do it with a sketch or someone else's graffiti. Okay, I like it. So now I want to make this round. So I'll just click on this, right click, do soft. And I'll do the same thing right here. Oh no, this already looks like it's soft. So I just need to grab these. That a little bit. I kind of like this. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'll go ahead and get my extrude, control click, drag it over here, which added in that other letter. I mean, other spline. So we'll delete that spline. Go in here. Whoa, what happened there? You know what? Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just make up another extrude. So we'll just click on this one right here, go to extrude, drag it in here. Boom. We have our other letter. We're going to do the same thing. Go in, go to round, give some roundness. Couple more segments. I like it. Cool. So we have this. Now let's use our type tool to make some letters. So let's go here, or spline text. Let's do that. Text spline. So go here and just type in A, enter. So we have our A. If we want to change where it's at, we could just go to coordinates and move it. So we'll just click on it again, go to our object. Let's give it a cool font. What's cool with this program is we can just run down the list if we need to. I kind of press the down button. I kind of like Pepsi. I might stick with that. let me go through a couple of other ones just to do it. Capital clickbait. Cotton better might be something. Fake news. Try this. I'm gonna try one more and I'm gonna go back to Pepsi. Well, two more. This and yeah, there's nothing that's really catching my eye like that. So let's just go back to the Pepsi one. And now I'm gonna modify this. So here's our spline. Ooh. And I'm just gonna go to this selection right here. Let's look at it. Let's see how many points are on here first. It's not letting me modify. That doesn't seem right. If I press C to make it editable, that's what it is. I had to press C to make it editable. All right, so now that I've done that, I can go over here and probably add a point if I need to. Yep, cool. But I'm just gonna warp it a little bit. So I'll just take this leg, move it down a little bit. And remember, in a situation like this, I can just go through. What happens if I just delete the point? Okay, that's what happens. Cool. So now I'm just like modifying text that came in a certain way. I'm not gonna do too much to this. But just showing you, what you can do. Because copyright in text is a thing. A real thing. All right, so we have this one right here. We can do, and it solves another extrude. Let's just make this one super soft. Cool. Let me just go to this. Now I'm just moving the spline to have it in line with everything else. Of course, if we want to enlarge it, we just click on this. We can move the pivot like we did before. So two more letters. Let's do M. But this time we'll do we'll do this one. It's the same thing. I just like the way it looks on black better. But this one's nice and high resolution, so we'll just do this one. So go here. All right, so it's in there. Now let's go and get this. So we go to view, configure. Here's the thing. Whoa. So I put in the Captain Marvel. Let's take down the transparency. Let's move it. We could put it anywhere. Usually just hide letters, but it's gonna do this just because. All right, so I'll do this. And let's make this letter now. Spline tool or spline pen. Click on the corner. Look here, here, here. I'm just gonna draw on the outside of the goal area. Let's see how we can do this. Do this soft, it blows it out. So just do this, right click, add point, right click, add point, and then soft. Take this, move it in. And I'll just do this to all the corners. And remember, I was just gonna do it to make it even. It's right there, add point, this one, soft, click, bring it in. Just because I think a soft edge is nice sometimes. We can help it. I'll do that for this and then the middle, and then I'll leave the rest. So add point, soft, scale it in. Right, bring it in. All right, cool. So we have this. Now let's do our same operation. This is it, right? Okay. And we'll click on this and go to extrude, drag it in there. Now we have this. If we wanted to make it look like Captain Marvel, how would we do that? Let's see. So if I go over here to this, Just right here, we have this, but then also I believe I'm gonna copy this spline. I'm gonna hide this letter. And if I click on this and I go to sweep, and then I'll bring this in here, and then I'll also click on this shape and get a circle. And I'll also take this into the sweep. And I'll take down the radius of the circle. So we have this. Let's do 8. Let's do 4. Let's do 2. And let's bring back the letter. And get ourselves a little something like this. Just enhance our letter. If I press T, what would happen? So I think because it's still in this mode, so if I do control click, so I'll make another one. And this right here, I'll press C to make it editable. So it's just an object now instead of something that we can modify. So let me hide this. And then I believe if I press T on this, where's my scale? How about this? If I do Alt G on it, and then I can scale. Okay. So now I have that look. And since I have this already here, I'll just go and take this into here. And this will be letter M. Cool. So I have my M all in one thing. Nice. I'll move this back. And let's do an A. Yeah, we'll just do another A, regular A. So let's go in here. And I'll turn off my image. So go to configure, back, turn off the image. And then let's just make ourselves a regular A. Oh, you know, we could just go to the regular text tool. So you can see the way it's orientated. Can I change it? I guess I can't really change orientation. So we have to go here and do it. 90. Move it over here. And we'll just get ourselves an A. Yeah, I'll do this one. Can I mess with the text here? No. I think I might just have to make this one. Yeah, I think that's the difference between the text tool and the spline text. It's kind of more easily editable. So yeah, let's just do that one instead. So just click on, ooh. I'm just trying to delete it. I want to delete. So if I go to File, Edit, Delete. All right. Set text spline. We'll go to instead. Okay. Yeah, we'll go to this SpongeBob one. Go in here, press C to make it editable. Then we'll edit some of the points a little bit just to mix it up. Cool. We have this, and then we'll do the same thing. Go in, extrude it. So I'm just doing this basically to show you how you can do different types of letters. How you can bring in a certain letter, and I mean how you can make a letter, take a letter from a drawing, draw your own letter. We can do this. You know, we could even do the step for this one just to do it. Okay, nice. Cool. So we have our little letter set up right there. Now we could do something cool, let's say. So let's do Alt G. And what we're gonna do is just give these all labels. So if you're not sure what it is, just click on the dot and say, oh, okay, that's what it is. So I just do Alt G, put it all in the group. Alt G. Alt G. DRAMA. I like to put them in order. These two down here don't really matter. All right, so we have our little weird little letter setup. Let's just give it like a little quick background. For that, I'll just go ahead and get myself a cube. All right. And I'm just gonna do this just because, and press C to make it editable. Go ahead, press 9 and go to my faces and just delete every face but this front face. Oh, didn't mean to rotate that. I wish I could lock that. If anyone knows how to lock it, let me know. Go ahead and get myself some edges. and then I'll just control click. Control click. Just give ourselves a little background to work with. So I'll take this and then go to faces and go right click, extrude, push that forward, let's say, this. E, control click. So I just made a copy of it. Scale it down. You give it a little rotation, click shift. Click shift. If we want to, we can do something cool, like give it a outline. So I'll just click on this right here. And I'm kind of doing this a little bit fast, so it might not look the best. I think you'll get the point. So I'm just giving this like a little bit of a border. So I'm just clicking and dragging. All right, so we have this right here. We'll go ahead and get ourselves a circle. Drag our, oh no, we need to get ourselves a sweep. And so sweep works is you have your spline on the bottom and then you have your circle right before the spline. And then the radius of the circle will be the radius of this. I can take this and put it where I need to do, or I can take it and then I can control click, duplicate it. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. T is scale, scale one out. Maybe that doesn't look the best, but it's basically showing you can do this. And then we could do something, the back isn't filled. something like a cylinder, let's say, and then let's change the orientation, X. Let's press C to make it editable. Go ahead and get ourselves a rectangle. T to scale. Something like this again. Scale this in. And then I'll keep that wide. And I'll scale these two. S. Huh, okay. Now I can see a photo there. Couldn't see that before. Then we'll just put in object mode. Let me get rid of this. So I do go to File, Configure, and then take off the picture. Do something like this. So take these down and yeah. Then we can get like points. So basically I'm just putting like this, like it's a stand sort of, or support kind of beam. And then we'll just put it in this object mode. Yeah, and then we could strategically kind of like put these on the letter to give it some kind of support. So it's kind of like a sign, you know, like a one of those signs in Vegas. Oh, here's an even better way, right? If I just take it here and I just control click. And what this will do is it'll just give it more kind of depth, something more to react to when we put the lights in there. And of course, when you add materials, it really comes alive. Ooh. Let me turn off this. Actually, I don't want to look for it. I was going to say, let me turn off the grid, but in A. Yeah, and this is the start to making some custom letters. So we made our letter off a photo. This is our freehand letter. This is our letter manipulating a font. This is another freehand letter, Captain Marvel. Here's a SpongeBob letter with some steps in there. And then just gave it like a little quick background. Of course, the more time you spend on this, the better it's going to look. It's just a start to making 3D letters and type.